Welcome back to another combo video. This video is about ink. This is ink with kendo, so combos will integrate both ink and kendo together. The build I'm rocking is 50 kendo, 15 speed for Mortal Ties, but this is personal preference. You could also go 45, 20 if you like pressure shift more. They both have their own pros and cons, but Mortal Ties makes it easier for you to land some combos just because they can't run, and ink isn't really that great if they play passive and run a lot. So getting them in Mortal Ties is really useful, but again, this is personal preference. If you don't like Mortal Ties, then go ahead and get pressure shift. Skill boxes, it's not a flow eviscerate, just get out of the way. But yeah, that's basically it, and on to the combos. Alright, so now some basic combos with ink. These are pretty simple. First one is droplet and eviscerating right after. Again, this combo isn't true all the time, especially if you do miss your droplet or if they flash step right after you droplet, but most cases you will catch them. The amount of times I've caught people eviscerating after using droplet is crazy. If you're this close and right behind them after, it should be true, but keep in mind that if you use this a lot of times, they will turn around and block if they're smart enough, I guess. But any decent player will start turning around after you droplet. It just depends on the scenario and the person, so just keep that in mind. Try different moves right after droplet if they start turning around, so it's really just dependent based. You can also do the same thing with Sonata Flow, and it should mostly be true. Of course, it is 100% ping wise and all that, but usually this will work and will catch them. You know, when you land all the way back here, Sonata Flow dash, you'll catch them. It's pretty solid combos if you can land droplet. Take some combos even further, use a droplet, eviscerate, and then use the Z right after. The reason you use the Z right after is if they try blocking it, then they'll be block broken and you can use nameless right after. So it's really good. A lot of people do try to block after eviscerate. If they flash step, then it's whatever, but if they do block, then free block break. And if they don't block and you hit them, they're slowed and easier to combo extend right after that. You can sound a flow, flowing petals, flower passage, whatever. It'll be easier for you to hit them. Another kendo tech in general is flower passaging, cancel, and then eviscerating. They should be stunned enough that the eviscerate does hit, and after that you can again wave front and try to catch the block. You really want to be using your wave front whenever you're close to them instead of M1ing or using your crit, because it does apply ink and again block breaks, so it's pretty good. Even in neutral, wave front is really good. Another just straight up kendo tech is after rising swallow. It's not a flow, it's not true, but you'll usually catch them in this, and if they don't have flash step, then they'll get hit. Now in Mortal Ties, it makes it a lot easier, so I'll show you an example. Mortal Ties, they can't flash step, they can't run, they can't do anything. It'll be a lot easier just to land your combos in general. They don't really change too much, but it just makes it a lot easier to land your nameless, force a block more and all that. So it's just a lot more easier in Mortal Ties, especially if they're nameless, to just go crazy on them, really. Now I know I'm not visored on this account, but visor doesn't really help ink too much, so I didn't really feel the need to grind out visor for this account. The only thing that I'd find a bit more helpful is the ragdoll on bisection. You could bisection wavefront or bisection nameless, but those are some really tiny things that wouldn't really help too much, so I didn't really feel the need to get visored. Another thing is, if you do have the horizon cord, unlike me, you can droplet and vertical down right after, and then horizon core. You could also vertical down nameless and then horizon core, but that is only if you have horizon core. If you don't have horizon core, then using vertical down after droplet isn't really too useful because it usually won't hit, especially if they're moving. The droplet into vertical down is kind of really niche and won't usually land because they'll be flash stepping and whatnot. So I wouldn't really recommend trying to go for a vertical down after droplet unless you have horizon core and you really are trying to use the full potential of horizon core. Then you can go for vertical downs right after droplet. That's really it for ink. Nothing too crazy. Ink isn't very combo based, as you could tell. Just none of the moves are like that and don't have the range to even help you with combos. Like Ice, very combo heavy, but Ink doesn't have any range. Your only range move really, or gap closer, is Droplet, Wavefront, short range, Nameless, short range. So it's really hard to try to combo with Ink when you have such limited range and your only gap closing move is kind of slow really. But yeah, that's it for the video. I tried my best to find up ways to confirm your moves and all that. But at the end of the day, the more skilled you are with Kendo, the more skilled you will be with Ink. In my opinion, it's just a high skill ceiling Shikai. It depends on the person to use Ink to the fullest potential. Obviously not that good of a PvPer, then Ink might not be for you. It is kind of hard to use in my opinion. It's really a hit or miss. If you land your namelesses and all that, then the matches feel like a breeze, but if you don't, then they really feel annoying. Especially if the person plays passive, then Ink kind of struggles. You have to play really aggressive actually if you want to maximize Ink. So I hope just a few basic combos I showed you will help you with your play and fighting. There are obviously things you can make to build better, like Visored, Horizon Core, all that. If you really want to maximize Ink, then go ahead and get them. Another thing I want to mention before I end is that Kendo isn't really the only thing you can use with Ink. There's also Hakura. Hakura Ink was really good back then. It's not as good now because Shunko is kind of busted. With all the new Shunkos, Fire Shunko, Ice Shunko, and more Shunkos that are coming in the future. So Ink Hakura isn't as great as it was back then. It's still viable, but I really don't see that many Ink Hakura. But again, that is for the video. Hope you guys found this useful. Make sure to like and sub. I'll be doing more combo videos with something more combo centric, more combo heavy. Comment down below what other Shikais you want to see. Hopefully it's something that's a bit more easier to combo than Ink. But other than that, it's your boy, and peace.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's